We did it! Bring it in, fam!
Hey, get off.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Post Hype. Now, I just got done watching Sonic Prime, so you know I had to run in here at the speed of sound and turn on the camera and give you guys my thoughts because this show was absolutely awesome, and I think it might have changed the game for Sonic in general. Now, for those of you who are Sonic fans, you know that the last few years have been so good to us, from the movies to the shows to the games, and now Sonic Prime has just cemented that Sonic is back in the pop culture zeitgeist. In my opinion, this show does so well playing to both older and new fans, and I think that it might be a turning point for the Sonic brand in general. If you guys like these videos, make sure to smash that like button, but let's not waste another second and let's talk about the story a little bit. That's where I want to start off with this review. So basically, Sonic and Eggman, as always, as history would have it, are getting into a battle. However, Eggman has now found that there is a paradox prism, which is basically this giant colorful rainbow crystal, and when Sonic gets too ahead of himself and too invested into the battle and won't listen to the words of his friends who are telling him to stop, telling him to hesitate, think about his actions, he ends up destroying the prism and destroying his own universe. From that point on, it kickstarts us off into a multiversal battle where Sonic gets thrown into different worlds where he sees different interpretations of his main crew, like Tails, Amy, Rouge, Knuckles, Big Cat. We get the whole gang, and each episode kind of investigates into a specific character more deeply than the others. We get some that are about Knuckles, where they're pirates, some that are about Tails when we're in New York City, and it's just an amazing storytelling technique, in my opinion, where they took at least a couple episodes to kind of zone and hone in onto a specific character, and in my opinion, it was really what this story needed. I was afraid that the story was going to be very formulaic and every single episode was going to go to a different place with a different team, but they actually focus on the same group of characters, and they actually take more than an episode or two within some of the worlds that we travel to. So I thought that was cool. Like, we'll go to New York City in episode 1 and then travel back at the end of episode 2 and maybe go back even in a later episode. So I thought that they didn't stick to a very formulaic pattern, which could have got old. However, the first episode did have me a little bit worried when the sound design was going on. I mean, I did like the classic callbacks to the original games. However, the music in the first episode, I don't know if they were just trying to like give that feeling of the old games and everything, but it wasn't hitting for me. I definitely thought the music was whack at first, but as the show went on and Sonic traveled to these different shatter spaces, as Tails calls them eventually, we get different sound designs and they all fit into the theme of the world he's in, and I really thought that was a great way to kind of make every world feel like its own and like a different story was being told. So I really did like the sound design eventually, and the way that they played on both the old sound effects and new. They even have little hints of like secret sound design here and there. Like, there's one scene where Sonic plucks a little thorn from his face and it makes a classic noise from the video game. So stuff like that was cool for old Sonic fans who would catch those Easter eggs as well, and I think that the way they handled it in general was good. Now, the main story, in my opinion, is about family and about friendship. It's about trusting your friends and family and listening to them in times of need and that sort of thing, and not getting carried away in the moment, which was Sonic's main problem in the first episode. He was so wrapped up in the battle with Eggman that he didn't even take the time to listen to his friends who are there for him. And as the story plays along, there's other scenes like where we see flashbacks to the original Green Hill stuff, where we see Amy and his friends celebrating Sonic's birthday and giving him a palm tree, but it's not about the palm tree. It's about the friendship that they made along the way. It's about the stories and all the times that they spent together around the palm tree, but Sonic doesn't see it like that. He's too wrapped up in the gift itself and some chili dogs as always. So I really thought the message and meaning behind the episodes actually had kind of a heart to it, and that was kind of interesting for me because I didn't think this show was gonna actually go so deep in its storytelling. I thought it would be very surface level and kind of more fun and directed at kids, but as an older Sonic fan, you definitely could find something in this show that's not just seeing the cool, beautiful animation and camera work. It's actually something a little bit deeper. So I enjoyed that thoroughly. I thought the story from front to back, even though I have little nitpicks here and there, was good and was told in a manner that you could really sit back and enjoy just as a TV show on its own. known Sonic fan or not. Now, I do want to say I did have some trouble with some of the voice acting, but it was weirdly changed along the way. So Knuckles, when he's in Green Hill, has a voice that is portrayed differently than when he's in other worlds. And now, yes, like when they're pirates, all the actors put on a pirate accent and hit the R and that sort of thing. And they also change it depending on like when they're the native characters and they're all in a village in a forest. They also change it to be more caveman-like. But Knuckles, when he's in Green Hill with his original voice, is like so oddly deep, it sounds off-putting in my opinion. It's like weird. Like it sounds like the voice actor is trying to make his voice too deep. And I would also say that Shadow, even though as the story went on, it didn't bother me as much, and he's not really in it, so maybe that plays into why it didn't bother me, but I thought his voice just didn't sound as rough and tough and as badass as you would want Shadow the Hedgehog's voice to sound. However, like I said, they do all have the aesthetics from the early 2000s, basically like the Sonic Adventure games. And one thing I want to say too is I'm so happy that Sonic has the tan arms. I am just a stickler for the tan arms. I hate how in certain properties these days, they make his whole torso blue like that. It just doesn't look right to me. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel. Let me know down in the comments below. Is it that big of a deal to you? But I'm a tan arm enthusiast, that's for sure. However, let's go and talk about some of the characters and the voice actors. So it looks like along the way, Sonic was voiced by Devin Christian Mack, who I really did enjoy thoroughly. I think he did a great job as Sonic. He's very quippy in this show, and I thought the voice acting in general, besides, like I said, for Knuckles and Shadow, was done extremely well. And I thought the way they had different interpretations of the characters really showed the talents of the voice actors behind the characters. Now, moving on further, we do have Shannon Chan Kent, and she portrayed Amy in Sonic Prime, and I think she deserves a special round of applause because she did not only a great job voicing the normal Amy that we would all know, but she really got dark and gritty when she was playing Robot Amy. That's not her real name, that's what I'm gonna call her. And even with Pirate Amy and the Monster Amy that we got in the Forest episode, I think the way that she was able to portray so many different sides of one character really deserves some applause in my opinion, and I respect her for that. And I really did love her interpretation of normal Amy and all of her alternate multiverse versions. So big shout out to Shannon coming from Post Hype. We also have Adam Narada as Knuckles the Echidna. Now, like I said, I don't like his interpretation of the Green Hill version of the Echidna that we all know and love, but I do like him in all the other Shatterverses. I mean, when he's playing the pirate version and even the caveman version, I thought so. Oh wait, hold on. So as I'm going down this voice actor list right here, it looks like Adam Narada did not do the other interpretations of Knuckles. So I don't want to shit on him entirely, but I can't give him the credit for doing the Knuckles interpretations that I did like. That actually goes to Vincent Tong. Now, Vincent did Renegade Knuckles the Dread, and he also did the Gnarly Knuckles, the three versions that I thought sounded so much better and not as forced as the Green Hill version of the regular Knuckles the Echidna. So big shout out to Vincent Tong. He saved Knuckles in my opinion, and I don't mean any disrespect to Adam. Sure, he's a great voice actor in his own regard, but I really think for this portrayal of Knuckles, Vincent did a better job. I don't know why they changed him along the way. I'm not sure why they did, but Vincent definitely deserves an A+ for his efforts as Knuckles the Echidna, one of my favorite characters in Sonic. So going on the list, we also have Ian Hanlon, who portrayed Big the Cat. Now, he did a great job even though he has minimal voice lines, but Big the Cat is fluffy and big as always and such an adorable, lovable character. We go on to have Ashley Ball, who similar to Shannon also did a great job portraying Tails. Now, Tails also has his dark and gritty moments, especially in New York City, and she has an interpretation of him where he doesn't speak at all back in the caveman episode. So I thought that was cool as well. That was more animalistic and just doing funny noises and sounding like an actual fox. So I think she got to have fun with that episode, and so did I. Hopefully you guys did as well. And going down the line, we have Brian Drummond as Dr. Eggman. He sounds very good, reminiscent of the early 2000s classic Eggman that I'm sure we all know and love. I thought he did a great portrayal. I also want to touch on, now that we spoke about Dr. Eggman, the chaos Council. The Chaos Council is one of the main antagonists in this series, if not the main antagonist, and I really did like the different versions of him that we got. We got Mr. Dr. Eggman, which is hilarious. It's basically your normal Dr. Eggman, except with a toupee, so now he's a Mister. We also get Dr. Babble, who is a baby version of Eggman, and possibly the most diabolical and badass. I mean, I guess he just has no regard for hedgehog life because he is after Sonic in these episodes. And then we also have 3 more. Dr. Don't, who is basically a chill teenager version of Eggman. He's just playing video games all the time. He couldn't give a shit about anything in the entire world except creating chaos. And then we also have Dr. Deep and Dr. Dunnit. Now, Dr. Deep is a special character because he has like tattoos, and he also is one of the ones we see mainly in combat besides Dr. Babble. Now, Dr. Deep, for some reason, has a like samurai mech suit that he like drives around, and he's very cringy with his dialogue, but I think that was purposeful, and I think that I liked it. I didn't think it was like cringe in the bad sense, but cringe in like a, oh, this character is supposed to be cringy, and he had funny moments because of it. So I didn't think it was bad by any means. I just think it was necessary to point out that he's one of the standouts in my opinion. And then we also end it with, like I said, Dr. Dunnit. Now, he's already done it, and he's given up because this man is 100 years old, and he can't even give Sonic the right animal name. He doesn't call him a hedgehog. He'll call him anything under the sun besides it, like a possum or a hamster or anything. Like I said, it's so funny. I really enjoyed the humor that we got from the Chaos Council, and I thought, like I said previously, the writing in this show was just so well done, especially comedically. They really did a great job writing these characters and having the show be fun in a certain lighthearted way, but still having that underlying theme of family and having Sonic learn lessons along the way. Now, if I had to dive deep and nitpick, I would say my only gripe with the Chaos Council is that we didn't get to spend enough time with them, in my opinion, but I can't even fully stand behind that because the reasoning for that is because we got to dive deeper into the characters that Sonic is friends with, like Amy and Knuckles and Tails. Those people in certain episodes did come off as the main antagonists. However, that played into the theme of family and learning that Sonic had to go through because he had to change their views. He had to go to Amy in the forest episode and get her to see that there is a balance between taking from the forest and giving to the forest, and that just becoming this overall monster is not the right way to go about it. He had to do the same with Tails and extend his hand in friendship and learn him that, and teach him, excuse me, that not everybody is someone you have to be scared of and enemies with, that you can make friends along the way. And it's these choices and these moments that I really think changed the game for Sonic fans, and the reason that Sonic Prime is one of the better Sonic shows, if not the best Sonic show that I've ever seen. So even though I wanted to see more of the Chaos Council, I don't think they're going to be gone forever. We are going to get another 3 drops, or 2 drops, excuse me, I believe, of Sonic Prime, of another 8-episode series. This one ended off on a cliffhanger, which I didn't really like, but I can't even hate on it because we are going to be getting more episodes. I think at the very end, when you see Shadow stop Sonic from going to a different Shatterverse, and then it just ends right there. The whole series, they were kind of hyping up the Shadow appearance, and he's talking to Sonic through the different realms and the dimensions, but you don't know exactly what's going on or how he got there or what he's trying to communicate to Sonic. And then we just still don't know by the end of the show. So that was kind of unresolved, and I thought that that could have been handled maybe a little bit better. Maybe give us a little more of a sneak peek, even a post-credit scene, something like that to keep me thirsty, keep me anticipating the next volume of episodes. But regardless, that's not really gonna dampen my spirits because I did think the show overall was so good. That's where I'm gonna wrap this one up here, guys. I want to know, however, what you thought about Sonic Prime. Do you agree that it's changed the game and that this might be the starting point for something bigger for Sonic and Sonic fans? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Other than that, though, as you could tell, I absolutely was blown away by Sonic Prime. It exceeded my expectations by tenfold, and I can't wait for the new batch of episodes. That being said, I'm your host MJ with Post Hype. As always, I wish you guys a good day. If you liked the video, make sure to smash that like button, and if you didn't, make sure to let us know where we can improve. We're always open to your feedback and suggestions. I'll catch you guys around next time. Peace out.